My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Other people want to make friends, but trying to make you some money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate and teach. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. If you didn't know any better, you think the analysts who populate Wall Street are really just a bunch of weathermen. Every day you hear the same kind of chatter. Oh, such and such is a tailwind. Or look out, this or that is a headwind. On a day like today where the Dow slipped 167 points, S&P lost 0.48%, and NASDAQ declined 0.21%, it's enough to make you take a course in meteorology just to know which way the wind blows. Right now, there are so many cross currents that it feels like the wind blows both ways at the same time. That gets you days like today that start dramatically lower and then levitate, where the wind switches directions and the headwinds morph into tailwinds, and then the tailwinds die and the market goes right back down again. Now, of course, you don't care about today's weather. What good does that do? You want a forecast. But you know, it's easier said than done. How do you navigate your way through this confusing market? Well, let's take the wins head on, starting with the wins from the vaccine. Now, we know it is a huge tailwind for the economy. Once enough people are vaccinated, we can reopen everything risk-free, go back to normal. Once the vaccine is distributed, you can feel confident that the more marginal restaurants and retailers will make it. There'll be jubilation, like the jubilation that Kohl's got today underneath its stock, or Ralph Lauren, or Lululemon, or VF Corp, which sell more clothes. Malls can reopen. Troubled retailers will be able to survive. Can Macy's, which reports later this week, be far behind? Interesting single-digit stock. Meanwhile, the younger Robinhood traders, as we like to call them, the really aggressive ones, are betting heavily on the cruise lines. Between the vaccine and the high-quality tests, soon enough we'll be able to take a cruise again. But there's an example that there were tremendous tailwinds at the beginning of the day and ended up with headwinds. I don't know. Then there's a whole enchilada. Air travel. Can you imagine if the vaccine gets produced en masse right around when the FAA approves Boeing's redesigned 737 MAX and the Biden administration starts making nice with China, generating lots of new orders for the American aerospace industry? I mean, that's practically a monsoon worth of tailwinds. Suddenly, even something like General Electric's worth owning. They're a huge winner making Boeing engines and wind turbines now that we're about to have a renewable-friendly president. Oh, we're probably going to have a divided government come January, but energy is one area where the White House has made a huge difference based on how they choose to apply regulations. Under Trump, we've had 4 years of drill, baby, drill. In fact, they just moved to sell oil rights in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Now, can you imagine being the oil CEO who has to go home and break the news to the kids? Hey, kids, I'm home. Just wanted to let you know we wiped out a bunch of endangered species today, including some adorable polar bears. Don't worry, though. It was for a good cause. Fossil fuels! Even if you want to take a total mercenary attitude toward the environment, I don't see the point in selling off valuable oil rights when the price of crude oil is below $41 a barrel. The world's awash in oil right now. I think we're running low on caribou. All right, let's get back on track. You got all these restaurants, retailers, cruise lines, and aerospace companies that benefit from the vaccine. But it's not just a tailwind for many companies. It's a headwind. And you saw it writ large today with a pair of stellar quarters from Home Depot and Walmart. Now, by the way, these were some of the best numbers I have ever seen. Home Depot put up a 24% same-store sales growth number. I've never seen anything like that. That's incredible. No, never. Meanwhile, Walmart's U.S. e-commerce business shot up 79% year over year. Yet both stocks just got annihilated today. You know why? Because the vaccine is a headwind for them. There's no way Home Depot or Walmart can keep delivering this kind of growth once the world goes back to normal. The only way they can keep putting up such great results is if we're still stuck inside next year, renovating our homes with help from Home Depot while we order all sorts of stuff from Walmart's website. But thanks to Pfizer and Moderna, well, that's not where we're headed. You take away the stay-at-home economy, and these two stories become a lot less attractive. Will we really need Walmart's local e-commerce when we can safely go out and shop anywhere? Maybe some of us will be so enamored with Walmart's digital offering that we'll never, ever go back to a brick-and-mortar store again. But I bet most people can't wait to shop normally. I mean, really. I mean, people like to shop. Remember, it's America. As for Home Depot, I'm sure some people will keep fleeing from the cities to the suburbs. But once the vaccine's everywhere, well, maybe that changes the incentives. Maybe we'll still need new appliances and chairs and sofas made by Whirlpool or Herman Miller. But will we need more tools from Stanley Black & Decker? Maybe we have them all. How about lumber, flooring? I mean, there's only so many times you can remodel, right? And let me redo this kitchen again. I redid it 6 months ago. The same goes for Amazon, the ultimate stay-at-home play. The only reason that stock didn't get hammered is that they decided to disrupt the entire drugstore business today. And even that barely allowed Amazon to rally. It did fall 50 points from its intraday high when we realized that the vaccine is a headwind. Of course, the vaccine is not only the only reason we have to deal with here. I told you there are cross currents. Sure, the vaccine is coming. But at this very moment, the pandemic is raging worse than ever. We likely won't see mass distribution of the vaccine until the second quarter of next year. So what does that mean for the stock market? If we get 6 more months of COVID, that is a real tailwind for tech companies that help businesses move their operations online. Who's the most essential when your workers are operating from remote locations? Well, last night we heard from Nikesh Arora. He's the CEO of Palo Alto Networks, and he told us his cybersecurity is red hot because all these remote workers create additional vulnerabilities. He said he's got some new software that lets companies look through the eyes of potential hackers. That could be useful. There's a reason Palo Alto rallied again, this time another $15 today, on top of a magnificent 20-point run yesterday. Wow. The positive pin action did indeed lift the whole segment. Even as I agree with Nikesh that the best may be Palo Alto. Finally, there's one part of the weather report that's really a total wild card, maybe even a freak ray of sunshine. I'm talking about the possibility of a stimulus bill. Now, I don't think it's likely, but if Congress can come up with a compromise, that would allow pretty much everyone to win. That would be real fear of missing out if that happened. We'd have money to keep shopping at Walmart or Costco, which paid a great $10 special dividend. We keep remodeling with Home Depot. We wouldn't fear a recession despite the weak aggregate retail sales numbers we saw this morning. We'd be able to justify this 3-day magnificent run in the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index that everybody keeps talking about and I'm sick of. However, I'm not super optimistic on the stimulus front. The bottom line, instead of that freak ray of sunshine, we have got variable winds, sometimes two different kinds, even in the same session, where the push and pull of these weather systems creates a curious swirl that's very hard to predict, even by highly paid Wall Street weathermen masquerading as analysts.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.